one of the other things that's happening right now, well, I don't know if we intended on mentioning it or not, but with the blockchain conference going on, you have all the
Yeah.
highest of stakes documentary on all the TVs on Emirates Air. So all those people got to see it, and or maybe they didn't watch it. Who knows? Now they're getting flooded.
It
But
may never make it back now,
right,
but yeah.
from what I understand, is one of the bigger supporters or sponsors over there of that event that they're having. Um, S- Sun Mini Meal, something meal. I
I
forget
was
what it
gonna
was
get
called.
into it. Yeah, I can. Yeah, so essentially, so if you guys did miss this that Ewok's talking about, so and it was pretty much flooded on crypto Twitter the other day, not by hexagons or whatever, but by people that were going to this summit. It's
Yeah.
the blockchain summit or whatever, World Blockchain Summit that's in Dubai right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so the highest of stakes was pre-programmed right there as the default, almost like screensaver, like or like if you went on to Netflix or something and it's like, oh, this is the show, like Tiger King or whatever they're promoting at the time. The highest of stakes was just right there on every single monitor throughout these flights for everybody that was going to the summit, which is awesome. I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of pictures on Twitter of like people, like big time influencers with huge followings, either bitching, complaining, or just being whatever about it being on their monitor and sharing it, whether it was positive or negative. There's
Right.
shots of like the entire flight deck with like it on all of the monitors, which is just so funny to see.
Richard
Um,
Hart with a crown.
yeah. But to what your point was, so the main sponsor of the World Blockchain Summit that is hosted in Dubai, April 21st and 22nd, I didn't realize it wasn't until then. I guess people are still flying in now.
Yeah.
One day after the halving is a company named Sun Mini Meal. That sounds like a nice meal service. That you would get delivered maybe every month and make something. I don't know. But their token is UN on Pulse Chain. Soon Minimal is a startup company based in Switzerland worth 100 million and is growing faster than Red Bull. Connect the dots. Pulse Chain is going to be premiered in front of the World Blockchain Summit. That comes from OX Stylo. I got that on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, really interesting. And it is there. And Dubai is underwater now. Literally, the airplanes look like they are landing on water, like it's some kind of a Jesus type intervention type thing going on there. But so these people may not make it back, but they did get to see the highest of stakes before the end anyway. But yeah, so what do you make of that? It's very interesting. Just wild to see that. And I have to look into that UN token. I haven't really done that yet, but what do you make of all that, Ewok?
Well, I think it's pretty cool. My reaction though is I want to see some of those people saying that they watched it, and
Right.
I want some honest reviews from them. You know, I think it would be good to anybody that posted a picture. If any of you Hexicans want to kind of troll any of them, go under them and say, "Hey, did you watch it at least? And what did you think?" I'm very curious to hear some responses from them, because it was well done, whether you like Richard Hart or not.
Yeah.
It was a well done, well put together documentary, and it wasn't all a fluff piece. It wasn't. People may have thought that going into it, but it wasn't what most thought it was going to be. So yeah, I'm very curious to see that, and I think it's you know getting the name out there again. It's name recognition. Most of the time, it takes 7 exposures before somebody feels comfortable with something, and it's just another one. They're going to hear about it. They're gonna eventually see it and try it. So I think it's pretty cool that token is exclusively launched on Pulse Chain, and it's just one more thing to get the name out there. I thought it was well executed marketing thing to put in front of people on a however long that flight is. What is it? It's got to be a 8 hour flight, probably
Yeah, I gotta
6 hour
imagine
flight.
that's a long one.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I just put the chart from Dex Screener into chat for the UN token. And yeah, it actually has been flying up since about April 7th against USD and against Pulse. So yeah, its chart was basically just kind of sideways since it launched in September. And then April 10th just started to skyrocket to new highs, which we sit at right now. And it's going real hard against Pulse right now after being down only basically since the
Yeah,
beginning. So yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, I want to see some of those people coming back and like maybe what their thoughts are on the documentary, because now it's to the point where like, look, I mean, you're seeing Hex on there. Now, those people probably know well, maybe they don't. I was gonna say they know a little bit more of what's going on than just like, oh, I pull up the EHEX chart and there it is. Maybe they know about Pulse Chain. I don't know. Probably not actually. But most people that watch that are going to go pull up the Hex chart and see like, oh, okay, it died. I mean, that's pretty much what people are going to think now because you
yeah,
look at that token, if you're looking at just Hex on Ethereum, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it's totally down here now. And it's like, well, there's a different Hex now. And I know they talk about Pulse Chain in it and stuff like that, but it's an interesting conversation. But either way, the point of that movie was an attention piece. And I agree with you 100%. It is a well done film. I think it definitely is. There's
yeah.
some stories I would have rather not be pursued as much as they were. Which I think some other people agree with, but it's entertaining and it's very well done
Sure.
otherwise. So, um,
You had to pick some, right? I mean, I know there
mhm,
were a lot of people that were cut out. Nerd Girl was one of them. Johnny Chaos was one of them. I know they all had parts
yeah,
that were not used. So yeah, I I think it definitely opened up a door for a second one. The problem is everyone's kind of down really bad right now and trying to DCA, and they don't want to pay for a film. So,
yeah,
you
I'm
know,
good on that.
maybe on the next bull run or whatever, when people have paper gains again and aren't afraid to spend a little money, we'll get a second one.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and I'm interested to see what these people do say about that film if they do get back from Dubai, and we're thinking about all you guys over there. So hopefully that weather clears up a little bit.